At first glance, it may look like any typical summer camp, but you need only look at these flags to get the sense that this is something very different. And the nearly 200 teens who will spend the next 3 weeks here are here for that reason. Nestled among the pines on the silvery shores of a crystal cool lake, the sounds of happy teenagers cut through the quiet morning. They look like old friends, laughing and catching up in their first week of summer camp. But listen closely. Their camp songs are far from typical, and so are they. These teens have flown halfway across the world to be here, to do what so many back home cannot.
We are here today to build hope, to seek human rights, and end the occupation.
We've learned that the enemy can be our friend. We've learned that the enemy does have a face, and it's a nice one.
They call themselves Seeds. They're the newest of over 4,000 who have come through these gates in the camp's 19-season history, the largest group since 1999. They come from countries in conflict, places where they'd consider one another to be enemies, but not here.
You can say things that you can never imagine yourself saying at your home. Like, there are things that I feel comfortable saying here and I don't feel comfortable saying to my parents. You know, like, nobody can understand me like the people at Seeds of Peace.
Your legacy starts now. It is what you bring to the table, what you take away from the table, and what you use when you get home.
It isn't always easy. Tucked into this quiet corner of Otisfield, these teenagers will spend as much time in dialogue sessions and conflict resolution activities as they will swimming and singing around campfires, fighting their own misconceptions about one another. A process that only gets harder once they head home.
Personally, I believe that peace could happen between people, but as long as there are governments which are with stubborn heads, it wouldn't happen.
And even today, a sign of that here. The Afghan flag raised in silence, the nation's delegation still trapped at home by red tape.
1, 2.
But with the first notes of the Seeds of Peace anthem, these teenagers made a commitment to march to the beat of their own drums as they pave the bumpy road to peace, a dream for so many, but one these teens plan to make a reality. In Otisfield, Catherine Parada, News 13. A dirt path under a canopy of pines. It's a setting that conjures up the very image of peace, and that's the goal here. It's been nearly a week since almost 200 teens from countries in conflict arrived here at Seeds of Peace Camp. Their mission is to better understand and respect each other's perspectives. And for 2 teens, they came back for a second time to do it all again.
I'm from Jerusalem, Israel.
I'm from Ramallah, Palestine.
They sit side by side, staring at the summer sun sparkling on the lake, halfway across the world from their homes in Israel and Palestine. They're enemies, 2 people who might never meet. But here in the afternoon shade of the trees, they sit together, teenagers with different backgrounds, but a shared goal.
I want to come to my community and say to them, folks, I've learned new values, I've learned new people, I've learned new experience. Now I want to help you guys.
I'm trying to change what the Palestinians believe in, and talking to the other side makes you feel like you love your country more, makes you feel like you're defending your country.
Their names are Loureen and Ophir. She is from Palestine, he is from Israel. But until the end of July, both are living here at Seeds of Peace, a place they experienced in 2009 as first-time campers, an experience neither has forgotten.
We used to think about the enemy as someone who is very scary and as a Satan or something like that. And when I came to camp and I looked in the eye of the enemy and I was able to speak with him, to listen to him, I understood that there is a real chance for peace.
It was like frustrating and confusing at first time when I met an Israeli, especially in dialogue. We were like screaming and shouting and yelling, like different opinions and stuff. But after a while, I respect their own opinions. They respect my opinion.
It was eye-opening. 3 weeks of learning from those once only known as enemies, now just regular teenagers, an experience not without challenges. But 2 years later, here they are again, this time as peer support, camp leaders there to help others, even as they continue to struggle within themselves.
While I think about it, at the end, after 5 years, he's going to be holding his gun and preventing my movement at one checkpoint. That's what I think about it right now. That's my opinion.
It's really hard to think about it because when I look at Loureen, I see friend, but I know that one day I'm gonna be in the army, and it's really difficult for me.
They are the questions they're embracing in this wooded retreat, all the while leading first-time campers along the bumpy road to peace and understanding, a process as much about learning as it is teaching.
I wanted to develop myself. I knew that in camp I made some mistakes, and I knew that as a PS, as more mature, more adult, more open-minded, I'll be able to speak in dialogue, but not about politics, about leadership.
You feel you're more experienced. You have the courage more to face the other side or to face any other culture. For you, it's like, I keep asking questions, why you do that? Why you go to the army? Why we have checkpoints? Why we have settlements? You know, it's like I'm really encouraged more to face the enemy more.
An enemy with the face of a friend, united in one mission for the next 3 weeks. In Otisfield, Catherine Parada, News 13. They pound on their tables, smiles stretching from ear to ear. They look like old friends, but up until 2 weeks ago, few of these teens knew each other at all. Among them, Loureen and Ophir.
As a group, we're getting to know more each other more, you know. For example, I don't know a lot of Ophir, but we're getting to know more about each other.
She's from Palestine, he's from Israel. Together, they're back for a second summer at Seeds of Peace, this time as peer support, building their leadership skills as they help first-year campers, a role they better understand at the end of their second week here.
I used to shout, to yell, to cry even, but now I know that I'm now a PS, I'm a leader. I don't have to cry. If I cry, other campers will cry. If I shout, others campers will imitate me and they will do the same. But now as a leader, I have to respect the other side of opinions and to be like more respectful.
Things are going really, really hard at camp, mainly in the campers' dialogues. And several days ago, Will told us, don't tell the campers what to do, but encourage them, hug them. And when my campers are coming to me with their issues, in dialogues, but not only dialogues, also personal issues, then I know that I have I have a place.
And dialogue is the core part of this camp experience. It started back in 1993. It's very intense for the campers here, but also requires a lot of sensitivity and hard work from the dialogue facilitators.
We are doing now, in these days, we are doing here exactly what our leaders back home, they disagree to do it. They don't agree to do it. They refuse to have a dialogue between each other back home, and here they do, and that it's a very unique situation.
Farhat is an Israeli Palestinian. He's one of the original facilitators from 1993 when the camp hosted just 35 Palestinian and Israeli boys. Since then, the camp has grown, but the goal of the dialogue sessions remains the same.
In our eyes, okay, this is the only way. In our eyes, dialogue is really the only option for people to solve the conflict.
It's not easy. For 2 hours every day, the campers are challenged to open their minds, to talk about the conflicts in their nations and question what they've learned. And achieving that dialogue requires a lot of skill from facilitators.
You have to know to support others. You have to know to listen to the other side. Facilitators are supposed to understand beyond the words which are being said by the participants. He's supposed also to reflect, to be the mirror of the group.
And for teenagers, the work done in dialogue continues long after the sessions end. Even as Ophir and Loureen work to build leadership skills, they still struggle with the challenges they faced as campers in dialogue 2 years ago, something that happened during their second week at camp as they worked on a group project.
The Palestinian PSs and the Israeli PSs, we had arguments about how we're going to present the conflict. And I remember that we sat in a group, and then I understood that I had to do something.
It's a process that will continue even after they return home, where dialogue sessions are hosted a few times a year to help the Seeds continue with their work. But going home is something Ophir and Loureen don't want to think about yet. Today they're happy just being two teens at camp, learning more about each other and surrounded by friends. In Otisfield, Catherine Parada, News 13. They file off their buses in a stream of green T-shirts. For the past 2 weeks, these teenagers from the Middle East and Southeast Asia have been sharing their cultures and their conflicts with each other at Seeds of Peace camp. But on this night, they're in Portland for an experience that's purely American.
Do you understand what's going on?
No.
Ophir and Loureen were here at Hadlock Stadium in 2009. That time, the Sea Dogs game was rained out. Tonight, they have another chance to see their first baseball game, but actually watching the game isn't really anyone's first order of business.
I got chicken, popcorn chicken with French fries, Coca-Cola and Sea Dogs biscuit. And so I'm going with the process to eat more.
I'm about to get the biscuit. I have fantasies about the biscuit. It's really good. And I'm gonna get some French fries.
Baseball is just a way to be here to eat food.
Now, many of the Seeds have never seen a baseball game before, so this is a first for them. But if you think they're paying attention to the score or the plays, you'd be wrong about that.
By the third inning, the drums are out. Loureen and her friends are on their feet, and it doesn't take long for most of the camp to join in. Their songs don't include Take Me Out to the Ball Game or even Sweet Caroline. So what exactly are they singing?
Some of our most popular songs of Seeds of Peace, such as Pizza Man, Everybody Like Hummus, Every Time I Want to See You.
It may not look like peacemaking in progress, but that's the whole idea.
We're singing, we're getting to know each other more, we're eating together, and it feels like we're having so much fun.
Before we came here, I had a really, really good conversation with another American PS.
You're proud of being a Seed in front of everyone. Everyone knows you. It's really a good feeling.
As for their thoughts on the game,
Soccer is better.
I love basketball. That's why I feel it's more interesting for me than baseball.
and as the game unfolds on the field, these teens barely take notice, too busy having fun in the stands. Teenagers who live separated by borders, tonight standing together in this American stadium far from home, laughing and singing in one voice. In Portland, Catherine Parada, News 13.